Hey there, supercharged entrepreneurs, or should I say future billionaires. Ever looked in the mirror and saw Jeff Bezos? No, just me? Alright, in all seriousness, today we're going to be talking about a significant yet often overlooked key part of success in all areas of your life, including your entrepreneurial journey, your self-image. And in this video, I'm going to show you the fastest and easiest ways to change your own self-image so you can take your foot off your own brakes and achieve your goals much faster. Hi, my name is Mark Dhamma. I'm a high-performance coach to entrepreneurs. I help entrepreneurs make more money by increasing their energy, focus, and productivity without the burnout. So if you're an entrepreneur, subscribe to my channel. And if you're not an entrepreneur, please don't subscribe. Now you might be thinking, self-image? That's some new age, fluffy, self-help BS, right? To be honest, it wasn't until earlier this year till I realized that all of my multimillionaire clients take their self-image very seriously, even to the point in having their self-image clearly defined and documented in a literal document so that they can take charge of their self-image and achieve their goals much faster. Most of them, including myself now, review their self-image daily using something called the alchemy of self, which we'll talk more about later on. Nowadays, the first thing I do with my elite personal coaching clients is have them do this alchemy of self straight away. Help them get clear on their new self-image so that they can achieve their goals without getting in their own way. And by the way, you can click the link in the comments below and download your free training on how to create your own alchemy of self. But let's dig a little deeper. Self-image isn't about narcissism or being self-obsessed. It's about how you see yourself, your abilities, your worth, and your potential. It's the internal reflection that guides your actions and all your decision making. Now I can see you might be shrugging this off thinking, I've got a pretty accurate view on myself and my abilities, and maybe you do. But let's just play a game of what if for a moment. What if your self-perception isn't as clear as what you think it is? Or what if your own self-perception is actually acting as an invisible wall stopping you from achieving your potential? The groundbreaking book that introduced the Western world to the power of your own self-image really can be credited to PsychoCybernetics by Maxwell Moltz. Maxwell Moltz wasn't your typical self-help guru. In fact, he was a plastic surgeon who noticed something absolutely fascinating during his career. Even after he had successfully operated on some of his patients, he noticed that they still didn't see the change in themselves. Even though he changed, for example, the nose, they would see the old nose they had, even though factually they had changed the nose completely. They couldn't see it at all. Over time, he started to realize that the reason why they couldn't see the physical transformation is because their internal reflection of themselves hadn't changed. They had the same self-image and they literally couldn't see that they have physically changed. Take a moment to get this for a second. Maxwell Moltz discovered that merely changing your outside circumstances or appearance isn't enough. Changing your inner belief about yourself is critical. This is a concept with far-reaching implications, especially for you as an entrepreneur. Think about it. If your self-image doesn't align with your business goals, then you're likely to shirk away from responsibilities, avoid opportunities, literally not even see the opportunities in front of you, hesitate to make bold moves, or even doubt your decision making. In fact, your business goals are a product of your own self-image. You're only going to set goals that you believe that you yourself could actually achieve, and that's based on your self-image. Your self-image is an invisible barrier on your levels of success. I was recently told by a client of mine that his wife is feeling uncomfortable about how much money they're now making. So they're making a lot more money than what they were before, and she's getting very uncomfortable with it. This is an example of a self-image not being comfortable with the new reality. And if she doesn't change it, she may even start to try and self-sabotage what's going on financially with them as a couple. In order to feel comfortable with a new sense of reality, she needs to upgrade her self-image, and then she'll be all good. A negative or limiting self-image can be your worst enemy. I literally had a friend of mine reach out to me and tell me that this book, PsychoCybernetics, saved his life. He went on to say that a few years ago he was in a period of life that he hated. He wasn't happy with himself or his life situation. He was that depressed that he detailed how he was going to kill himself. And he tells me that he was absolutely going to go through with it until he read this book, PsychoCybernetics by Maxwell Moltz. He said the reason he didn't follow through with it is because the book gave him hope that he could change himself. He could change who he is as a person by changing his self-image. Fast forward a couple of years later, my friend is a very successful entrepreneur. He's happy, he's fit, he's doing well, he's doing great in business. And he said it's all down to changing his self-image because of what he learned from this book. I'll give you an example from my own life. For years, I held myself back financially because I just saw myself as a coach, not as a coach who marketed coaching programs and was financially successful. You can see back in 2014, I started my Instagram and my YouTube channel, and then I stopped because I was getting clients from word of mouth and I just didn't see myself as a marketer. So I just didn't see a need to put my stuff out there and let people know about me. I wouldn't do things to market my services, my coaching programs, because I just didn't see myself like that. I saw myself as just a coach. And that severely limited the growth of my business and also my finances. It wasn't until I changed my self-image to being a high-performance coach and an expert marketer that my business really started taking up and my family finances transformed too because of it. This is the power of your self-image. Listen, I'm sure you've seen people in your life who limit themselves through the self-image. Perhaps you know other talented entrepreneurs with brilliant ideas who are holding themselves back because they just don't see themselves as a successful entrepreneur. Perhaps it was a girl you know from high school who was absolutely beautiful, but she just didn't see herself that way. She couldn't see it. She didn't think she was beautiful at all. When she looked in the mirror, she wasn't beautiful, but anybody who objectively looked at her was like, oh my God, she's gorgeous. On the flip side, entrepreneurs with really positive self-images usually push the envelope, they're innovative, they're making change, and you usually see them be very, very successful because they see themselves as a super successful entrepreneur. Other people treat them that way, and then eventually that's exactly who they become. A great example of this is one of my past clients, William Brown of WB Trading. 3 or 4 years ago, Will was living at his parents' home after quitting his career as a famous but broke DJ and decided he wanted to make more money. He decided to become a consultant. So Will was a customer of one of my past clients, Sam Ovens. And at the time, Sam had a company called consulting.com teaching people how to become highly paid consultants. The first thing Sam taught his customers was to create their new self-image using the alchemy of self. Being a good student, Will meticulously planned out his new self-image. He wrote down affirmations about what he looked like, how he approached business, and everything included with his new life, his new self-image. And sure enough, just after 3 years, Will achieved his goal of becoming a multi-millionaire and being financially free. That meaning that he doesn't have to work again. He has enough assets kicking off returns, so he doesn't actually have to work again in his life to cover all of his bases. I'll put a link to Will's YouTube channel in the description below so you can check out Will. I'll give you one final example from my own life where my self-image actually changed for the positive. Okay, and this is back when I was 13 years old. I was fat. I was overweight. Kids used to make fun of me at school, and my grandfather told my mum that I was overweight and she should really do something about it. And when my mum told me this, that just really shattered me. That really, really broke my heart back then. But at the same time, it was a really good thing because that spurred me into action. I started to think about, well, I don't want to be overweight anymore. I don't want kids to be making fun of me anymore. I especially don't want my grandfather to say anything about it. So what I did was I started to think about who did I want to be? And I realized I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to be fit and healthy like an athlete. So inadvertently, I started to change my own self-image. I didn't realize what I was doing at the time. I just started doing it. I started asking myself questions like, would an athlete eat this? No. Okay, well, I'm not going to eat it because I'm an athlete. It was Christmas Day, and I'd say, would an athlete train on Christmas Day? Yeah, they would. Well, I'm an athlete, so I'm going to train on Christmas Day. I just started referring to myself, the most important person you can refer to, yourself, because you are your own best hypnotherapist. Whatever you keep telling yourself over and over again, eventually you'll believe. And that belief, that self-image of me being an athlete, actually led me to become a college athlete. I used to play rugby. In my freshman year, I was in the first team. was in the star player. Knee injury put all that to an end. Being an athlete got me to actually become an athlete. And then later on in my life, I tweaked my self-image to become a fitness model, and it worked there too. So I want to ask you today, how do you see yourself? And how should you see yourself if you want to hit the type of goals you want to achieve? Is this version of you, let's call it 1.0, is this version of you able to achieve your goals? Because if not, you need to create a 2.0 version of you, a new self-image, the person who can achieve your goals. I hope this has sparked some self-reflection. I want you to think about your self-image and how it might be impacting your entrepreneurial journey. If you're ready to break through your own invisible barriers, click the link in the comments or in the description and download your free Alchemy of Self-training. Start to fill it out, create your new self-image, and look at it every day. Remember, your self-image is the key to your entrepreneurial success. Download your free training, and I'll see you on the other side.